Hello, hello, welcome back to my fancy cooking channel. So we're gonna do some roasted pumpkin seeds today. This is from the pumpkin that I made the pumpkin soup out of. I saved the seeds and they have been soaking in cold water in the fridge for a couple days. This helps to soften them up so that when you roast them, they are not as bristly or fragile. They don't shatter in your mouth as much, so you can actually eat the shell, and it just makes it more comfortable and more tasty. So now we're going to rinse them repeatedly in water again to get as much of the bits of pumpkin off. You can see that sometimes there's still little bits like that. So you're going to try to get that off. You don't have to get all of it, but as much as possible, just clean them up. Next, you're going to want to boil your pumpkin seeds for about 20 minutes. This is going to, again, soften the shell, but also it gets rid of a certain chemical whose name I can't remember that is in the pumpkin shell that makes it harder to digest. So when we boil it, it helps to remove that chemical so that it is easier for our bodies to digest the entire pumpkin seed. Okay, rinse your seeds again. You will notice that they will have become a bit of a darker color. Because the seed inside the shell is dark green. So this shell has become more translucent since boiling. That's a good thing. So rinse again. You're just trying to get all those bits of pumpkin, any extra slime, trying to get all that off. Let them drain because we're going to be tossing them with oil next, and oil and water don't mix. So you want them to be not dry, but drier. So just let them drain on like a towel or something, shake them around a bit so that all the water drips out. Alright, now we're going to toss with a little bit of olive oil. I prefer olive oil because it has its own flavor. You can really do any kind of oil. And then your spices, I like to do seasoning salt. You can do garlic, you can do lemon pepper. This is where you build your flavor profile. Whatever you want it to taste like is how it will taste. So you want it to be evenly coated. All of the seeds should have like a little bit of spice on them. Not too much. If you put too many spices on, you also run the risk of the spices burning. Just because it'll be too thick and then your flavor will be off. And so it should look kind of like this. So all of the seeds have a little bit of spice, but not too much. Then you're going to want to take a baking pan and just dump the seeds on, spread them out, and you will pop it in your oven, which will be set at 400. There we go. Alright, so put your pumpkin seeds in. Your oven should be at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. You're going to want to bake them for 40 minutes, but stirring every 10 minutes. So set your timer for 10 minutes, and when the timer goes off, you just want to stir everything and then do it again 4 times. So this is what they should look like about halfway through. And actually these ones on the edges are getting pretty well done. So I might lessen the time. But they've gone back to being white rather than translucent because the shells are actually baking. They're getting solid again. So just stir everything around. Bring the ones from the outside toward the middle. Flip the ones from the middle to the outside, just that sort of thing, and then pop them back in. If you do notice that they're starting to burn, like, that's about as roasty as they should get. Then just take them out, or lower your oven temperature. Yeah, just play with the time and the heat and just see where they take you. Alright, they're all done. Some of them, like this one here, got a little bit overdone. But every pumpkin seed is different. Some of them have more water, less water, so they roast differently. Yeah, I ended up turning the oven down to 350 degrees, and I only put them in for 35 minutes rather than 40. So yeah, just play with the time and the heat until they become crispy and toasty and just however you like them. Test them throughout as well. Just pop one in your mouth if you're not sure. Honestly, like, there's no rules with this part.